Breaking right now, the British royal family mired in one of its biggest crises in history.
Well, I'm not sure what I'm able to bring. It's what all these very brave ladies tell me.
In recent reports, there are claims suggesting that Princess Anne may have limited Queen Camilla's involvement in the early stages of Prince William's coronation planning. If true, this would reflect a notable moment of tension within the royal household, one that highlights how complex internal dynamics can be, even within such a long-standing institution. According to palace sources cited by several outlets, Princess Anne, often described as one of the most dedicated and disciplined members of the royal family, appeared to take a firm administrative role in overseeing certain aspects of the transition. It's been suggested that her actions quietly reshaped participation in the process, though no public confirmation has been given by the palace. Reports indicate that Queen Camilla was not included in some of the early planning discussions. Those familiar with the matter describe this as a deliberate decision rather than an oversight, though the reasoning remains unclear. Official statements have not addressed the matter directly, leaving much open to interpretation. Observers note that these developments, if accurate, reflect the delicate balance of influence and duty within the monarchy. The planning of any royal event involves careful coordination among many senior members, and moments like this show just how closely those boundaries are managed. As always, without formal comment from the palace, these accounts remain speculative. Still, they offer an intriguing glimpse into how the royal family navigates internal responsibilities as it prepares for future transitions. According to several reports, Prince William's senior advisors appeared to move quickly in alignment with Princess Anne's direction, forming a smaller, more focused planning group for the upcoming coronation. Sources claim that key discussions and documents were handled within this limited circle, reportedly involving only Anne and William's most trusted team members. Some accounts suggest that Queen Camilla became aware of her exclusion not through an official announcement, but after noticing her absence from a routine planning document. Those close to her have described the discovery as unexpected and disappointing, though the palace has not issued any statement to confirm or deny these details. Observers note that the situation, as described in these reports, underscores the complexity of royal coordination, where tradition, hierarchy, and personal dynamics often intersect. While some insiders interpret Anne's role as an effort to support William and maintain order, others view it as part of a broader negotiation over influence within the institution. Without direct confirmation from the royal household, the true motivations remain uncertain. Still, the reports offer a rare glimpse into how decisions at the highest level of the monarchy may be made quietly, with careful attention to both protocol and perception. In the weeks that followed, speculation around the palace reportedly intensified. Though no official statements were made, many observers noted a subtle shift in atmosphere within royal circles. Some reports suggested that Queen Camilla's role in certain matters appeared to have changed, while others viewed this as a natural evolution within the institution's structure. Princess Anne, long regarded as one of the most steadfast figures in the monarchy, is known for her strong sense of duty and consistent commitment to tradition. Unlike others who often attract public attention, she tends to operate quietly, focusing on service rather than visibility. When she takes a position, those within the palace usually take note. Commentators have pointed to a long history of formality between Anne and Camilla. From the early years of Charles and Camilla's public relationship to her current role as queen consort, Anne's approach has reportedly remained reserved and professional. Those familiar with royal dynamics often describe their interactions as respectful but distant. According to royal historians, this distance may not reflect personal animosity, but rather differing perspectives on tradition and merit. Princess Anne has always valued hierarchy and service as the foundations of royal life, while Camilla's path to her current position followed a very different trajectory. While much of this remains based on interpretation, these accounts illustrate the contrasting roles and principles that continue to shape the royal family's modern evolution. According to accounts shared by royal observers, Princess Anne has occasionally expressed her views on the responsibilities that come with royal titles. One source recalled a private conversation in which Anne reportedly reflected that some people wear the crown for duty, others for appearance. While she did not name anyone directly, some interpreted the remark as a reflection of her traditional outlook on monarchy and service. Following King Charles's accession, reports suggested that Anne became increasingly attentive to the evolving roles within the royal structure, Queen Camilla's growing involvement in ceremonial and public matters was noted by many commentators, though opinions differed on whether this reflected overreach or simply a natural adjustment to her position as queen consort. Behind the scenes, some accounts describe moments of quiet tension at formal events, with Anne reportedly stepping in to uphold protocol during diplomatic or ceremonial proceedings. None of these reports have been verified by the palace, but they have added to ongoing public discussions about the balance of authority within the institution. According to several royal analysts, Princess Anne's concerns, if accurately reported, seem rooted in her desire to maintain stability and preserve the established order of duties within the monarchy. Some believe that her private discussions with Prince William, said to have focused on structure and continuity, may have influenced later organizational decisions. While official confirmation has never been given, these narratives highlight how carefully the royal family manages its internal boundaries and responsibilities during times of transition. According to several royal commentators, Princess Anne's reported actions toward Queen Camilla were not seen as a reprimand, but rather as a measure of caution. Sources suggest that Anne viewed Camilla's growing visibility as a possible complication for the institution's long-term stability. With Prince William preparing for his future responsibilities, Anne's approach, quiet, deliberate, and rooted in tradition, was reportedly aimed at preserving continuity within the monarchy. Some accounts also point to a private discussion between Prince William and Queen Camilla that may have revealed underlying tensions. While the details of that conversation remain unverified, those familiar with the matter claim it centered on defining roles and boundaries within the royal framework. Observers note that such discussions are not unusual during times of transition, though they can sometimes highlight differences in perspective. Over time, reports have described a reserved dynamic between William and Camilla, marked by professionalism but limited warmth. Analysts suggest this may reflect broader generational and structural differences rather than personal conflict. Ultimately, while none of these claims have been confirmed by the palace, they contribute to ongoing public interest in how senior members of the royal family balance tradition, responsibility, and evolving public expectations. These narratives, drawn from commentary and unnamed sources, offer a window into the challenges of maintaining unity and stability at the highest levels of the monarchy. Reports surrounding a private meeting between Prince William and Queen Camilla have drawn considerable attention, with some suggesting it reflected differing views about future royal responsibilities. According to several sources cited by the media, the discussion focused on establishing clearer boundaries as preparations for the coronation progressed. Those familiar with the matter described the exchange as calm but firm. Prince William, speaking in his capacity as Prince of Wales, reportedly emphasized the need for space to define his role and vision for the future of the monarchy. He was said to have requested that Queen Camilla take a step back from certain planning discussions, particularly those involving ceremonial or symbolic elements tied to his eventual reign. Accounts vary on how Camilla received the message. Some reports suggest she maintained a light, composed tone, framing the matter as part of long-standing royal tradition. Others interpreted her response as more dismissive of William's concerns. Without official confirmation, the precise tone and outcome of the conversation remain uncertain. One quote attributed to the discussion, "This is not your crown to shape," has circulated widely among commentators, though it has never been verified by palace officials. Still, the story has fueled debate about the dynamics between senior royals and how transitions of authority are handled privately. While the full context of their exchange remains unclear, these accounts illustrate how even measured conversations within the royal family can reveal the challenges of balancing respect for tradition with the pressures of future leadership. Following what has been described by some reports as a tense private discussion between Prince William and Queen Camilla, several outlets claim that the prince soon met with Princess Anne to review next steps regarding coronation planning. Sources familiar with palace operations suggest the timing of their meeting was intentional, reflecting a shared focus on structure and clarity rather than personal disagreement. According to accounts cited by royal correspondents, William and Anne agreed to streamline decision-making for upcoming events. Adjustments were reportedly made to planning schedules, meeting agendas, and correspondence, all framed as organizational realignments rather than acts of exclusion. The palace has not commented on these reports, and no official confirmation of such changes has been issued. Observers note that the royal family often handles matters of protocol through subtle administrative shifts rather than public declarations. In this case, the restructuring was portrayed as part of a broader effort to ensure smooth coordination during a period of transition. As the story developed, Speculation grew about how Queen Camilla responded. Some sources suggested she was surprised to learn of the adjustments, reportedly discovering them through internal scheduling updates. Her team, according to these accounts, initially believed the omission to be an oversight. However, when no clarification followed, it became clear that a different structure had been established. While none of these details have been confirmed, the reports illustrate how internal planning within the monarchy can evolve quietly, guided by tradition, hierarchy, and the delicate balance of roles that define royal life. According to several reports, Queen Camilla's discovery of her exclusion from certain coronation preparations was seen by observers as symbolic, a signal that her influence within key royal discussions might have been reduced. Media accounts suggest she expressed strong concern about the situation in a private conversation with King Charles, though no official statement has ever addressed what was said or how it unfolded. Those familiar with palace dynamics describe King Charles as caught between personal and institutional responsibilities, maintaining his composure while the issue remained contained within private walls. Commentators have suggested that the moment underscored a shift in priorities within the royal structure, with decisions increasingly centered around the future reign of Prince William. In the weeks that followed, reports claim Queen Camilla refocused her efforts on public engagement and strategic communication. Her team reportedly began coordinating appearances and media outreach designed to reaffirm her role and visibility within the monarchy. These initiatives, according to analysts, aimed not to highlight division, but to emphasize continuity and presence. Still, many observers interpreted the developments as reflecting a gradual reorganization of influence within the royal household. As plans for Prince William's future role continued to evolve, attention naturally shifted toward the next generation of leadership. While none of these details have been confirmed by official sources, the accounts provide insight into how perception, communication, and symbolism continue to shape the monarchy's image during moments of transition. As reports of Queen Camilla's reduced role in coronation planning circulated, attention gradually shifted toward another senior royal figure, Catherine, Princess of Wales. Observers noted that she began to take a more visible and active position alongside Prince William, offering a steady and composed presence during key discussions. Royal correspondents have described Catherine's influence as quiet but significant. Without public statements or overt displays of authority, she reportedly became an integral part of the planning process, focusing on ensuring that the ceremony reflected both tradition and a sense of renewal. Palace sources quoted by several outlets suggested that her role went beyond symbolism, contributing to the overall tone and presentation of the event. According to those familiar with the process, Catherine was particularly interested in making the coronation resonate with a modern audience while honoring the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II. Her approach was said to balance respect for heritage with a forward-looking sensibility, reflecting the evolving nature of the monarchy. Analysts point out that Catherine's increasing involvement highlights her growing influence within the royal family's future narrative. While Queen Camilla continues to fulfill her duties beside King Charles, Catherine's calm, measured participation in shaping key moments has led many to view her as an emerging cornerstone of the institution's next chapter. Though much of this remains based on observation and interpretation, these developments suggest a gradual but clear shift in focus toward the new generation of royal leadership. According to multiple royal observers, Catherine, Princess of Wales, earned quiet recognition within palace circles for her approach during the coronation planning process. While Queen Camilla's involvement reportedly drew closer scrutiny at times, Catherine's steady participation was said to unfold naturally, marked by cooperation and composure. Those familiar with internal discussions described her as thoughtful, deliberate, and fully in step with Prince William's vision. Sources cited by royal correspondents noted that William and Catherine worked as a unified team, with their dynamic characterized more by partnership than hierarchy. Their joint influence reportedly shaped both the tone and direction of the ceremony in ways that emphasized stability and modern relevance without drawing unnecessary attention. There were no official announcements about Catherine's growing role, but commentators observed that her consistency and calm presence resonated strongly with both palace advisors and the public. After a period of challenges and shifting perceptions, her grounded image appeared to reflect the qualities many hope to see in the next generation of royal leadership. Analysts suggest that Catherine's influence lies in her authenticity, projecting dedication and composure without seeking the spotlight. Rather than positioning herself in competition with Queen Camilla, she has been seen as complementing the evolving direction of the monarchy. While the palace has never commented on internal roles, public perception increasingly views Catherine as an embodiment of continuity and trust, qualities that align her closely with the institution's future. According to several media accounts, a private discussion is said to have taken place at Windsor between King Charles and Princess Anne. Reports describe the meeting as reserved yet serious, addressing ongoing questions about Queen Camilla's involvement in royal planning and the shifting roles within the family. While no official record of the conversation exists, those familiar with palace matters have portrayed it as a moment of quiet but significant reflection. Sources suggest that King Charles, facing internal pressures and seeking unity, appealed to Anne to reconsider earlier decisions that had limited Queen Camilla's participation in preparations related to Prince William's future responsibilities. For Charles, this was reportedly about restoring balance and respect for his wife's position. Princess Anne, known for her directness and adherence to duty, was said to have listened carefully but remained firm. Analysts interpret her stance as consistent with her long-held view of prioritizing institutional continuity and the future of the crown above personal dynamics. One phrase attributed to the exchange, "He is our future," has been repeated widely in commentary, though it has never been confirmed by palace officials. Still, it has come to symbolize the contrasting perspectives of responsibility and emotion within the royal framework. Observers note that King Charles's position, balancing his personal loyalty with his duties as monarch, reflects the ongoing challenge of leadership within a family bound by both affection and tradition. While details of the meeting remain unverified, the discussion, if it occurred, illustrates the quiet negotiations that shape the monarchy's most delicate decisions. Reports describing the private exchange between King Charles and Princess Anne suggest that the meeting ended without resolution. While the details remain unconfirmed, commentators have portrayed it as a moment that reflected shifting influence within the royal hierarchy. For Charles, it was said to be a realization that even as monarch, his authority operates within long-standing institutional boundaries and shared responsibilities. Observers note that Queen Camilla, once seen as a unifying presence for the king, had increasingly become a focal point of debate within the royal framework. Her evolving role reportedly highlighted differing views among senior members about how tradition and modern expectations should coexist. Those familiar with Anne's reputation describe her response as consistent with her character, measured, principled, and deeply rooted in the protection of the monarchy's long-term stability. Rather than an act of defiance, her stance was seen by analysts as a reaffirmation of her belief in duty and continuity over personal sentiment. The meeting, according to these accounts, ended quietly, without further discussion or public acknowledgement. Following it, subtle adjustments within palace operations were observed, reinforcing the perception of an evolving balance of influence among key figures. Ultimately, while much of what occurred remains based on interpretation, the episode has come to symbolize how power within the monarchy is less about control and more about stewardship, passed between generations and safeguarded by those committed to its preservation. In the aftermath of growing speculation about internal divisions, palace officials reportedly prepared a formal statement aimed at restoring calm and projecting stability. According to several royal correspondents, the document was drafted with precision, reviewed carefully, and released quietly through official channels. The statement itself was brief and diplomatic, emphasizing collaboration among senior members of the royal family in support of the Prince of Wales. It made no mention of Queen Camilla, a detail that many media observers quickly noted. Analysts described the wording as intentionally measured, designed to acknowledge continuity without engaging with specific reports of tension. Commentators pointed out that, in royal communications, what is omitted can sometimes speak as loudly as what is said. The absence of Camilla's name led to speculation about her current level of involvement, though the palace did not elaborate further. The overall tone suggested an effort to maintain composure and avoid fueling additional commentary. Behind the scenes, sources claimed that internal communications reinforced the importance of consistency and discretion. Staff were reportedly reminded to stay aligned with official messaging and to refrain from discussing planning matters with the press. While no official acknowledgement of discord was made, analysts viewed the palace's approach as a strategic effort to contain speculation and preserve the image of unity. The restrained language of the statement reflected the monarchy's long-standing preference for managing sensitive matters quietly and internally. Following the release of the palace's statement, reports suggest that Queen Camilla's team felt unsettled by her apparent absence from the official messaging. Some accounts described an atmosphere of quiet disappointment and uncertainty within her circle, with differing opinions on whether to respond publicly or allow time to ease speculation. No official comment was made, and the palace maintained its silence on the matter. Royal analysts observed that in a system where symbolism and public perception hold great weight, omissions in communication can often be interpreted as meaningful. Questions arose about whether the phrasing of the statement reflected a broader shift in influence, possibly shaped by Prince William's growing leadership role or Princess Anne's adherence to institutional principles. However, none of these interpretations were confirmed by the palace. Amid this speculation, a new report emerged concerning a private letter said to have been written by Princess Anne to King Charles. According to unnamed sources, the letter was personal in nature and addressed issues surrounding royal duties and responsibility. Though its authenticity and contents were never officially verified, commentators suggested it provided insight into Anne's deep commitment to protecting the monarchy's stability. Observers note that such correspondence, if genuine, underscores how the royal family often handles disagreements privately and through formal communication rather than public confrontation. The reports surrounding this alleged letter have since become part of the broader discussion about the monarchy's internal balance and evolving hierarchy, a reminder of how even quiet exchanges can carry lasting symbolic weight. According to reports surrounding the alleged private letter from Princess Anne to King Charles, her message was thoughtful yet direct. She was said to have expressed concern about the monarchy's direction, emphasizing the importance of discipline, restraint, and purpose. Observers who reviewed portions of the letter described its tone as reflective rather than critical, a sincere appeal to preserve the institution's integrity for future generations. In the reported correspondence, Anne warned of the risks that arise when public image begins to outweigh duty. Without directly naming anyone, she highlighted the challenge of balancing personal relationships with the broader responsibilities of service. Her perspective, analysts suggest, was grounded in experience, a reminder that stability depends not only on tradition, but on consistency and accountability. Anne's letter reportedly praised Prince William's approach, describing him as a figure capable of merging heritage with forward-looking vision. Commentators have interpreted this as both a vote of confidence and a signal of where she believes the monarchy's strength now lies. The reports claim that Anne encouraged King Charles to take a step back, not out of conflict, but from a desire to safeguard the continuity of the crown. Whether or not the letter truly existed, its story reflects a timeless question. How does an ancient institution remain relevant while staying true to its core values? If you've been following this unfolding royal story, what do you think this means for the future of the monarchy? Share your thoughts below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more balanced royal commentary and updates.